杨明，杨明，杨明，杨明。
So where do I even start? There's so much adult stuff to catch in Season 2, and honestly, this video isn't enough to cover it all, but we'll do our best to mention as much as possible. Let's dive in and break down some of those scenes, plus explain a few Korean cultural references and nuances that might be new to a lot of viewers. Let's kick things off with Episode 1, Bread and Lottery. This one's a classic for K-drama fans, but it's something that only adults might really pick up on. When police officer Junho, played by Wi Ha-jun, stops a couple on a scooter, the female passenger calls him Aishi, which is a term used for middle-aged men. She tries to get him to let them go by using the term, but when he refuses, she quickly switches gears and starts calling him oppa, which is usually reserved for someone older but with a more familiar or affectionate tone. Now here's the catch. Oppa isn't just for siblings anymore. Since the 90s, many Korean women have used it to refer to male friends or even romantic partners who are older than them. This shift in how the words are used really highlights the adult nuances in this scene. Aishi feels formal, but oppa implies a closer, more personal connection, which totally shifts the vibe of the interaction. This subtle wordplay is something many adult viewers would catch, especially those familiar with K-drama culture. On top of that, there's another interesting detail that many adult viewers will catch. The North Korean broker speaks with a noticeable North Korean accent, but Noel, Park Gyu-young, a North Korean defector who was a soldier back in her country, doesn't. This is actually a pretty significant cultural nuance. In fact, Se-byuk from Season 1 also doesn't speak with a North Korean accent except when talking to her brother. This is a common behavior among many North Korean defectors who live in South Korea. They intentionally hide their accent to blend in and avoid discrimination. It's a subtle yet important element of their experience that's definitely more noticeable to an adult audience familiar with the socio-political realities of North and South Korea. Also, another adult-oriented detail is Player 44, played by Chae Go-ki. She plays a Korean shaman, or mudang, who offers to perform a gut ritual for Gi-hun. For those unfamiliar, Korean shamanism is an ancient spiritual tradition that still exists today, even though very few people practice it now. Shamans, most of whom are women, perform rituals to communicate with spirits, often asking for guidance on health, personal issues, or business matters. The gut ritual, which is at the heart of the scene, is a pretty big deal in Korean culture, even though many might just see shamans as fortune tellers. The fact that this detail is included shows the deep layers of tradition woven into the show, and adults would definitely appreciate the cultural significance behind it. Squid Game Season 2 is filled with adult-oriented themes and nuanced cultural references that many viewers might miss, but adult viewers will definitely catch these deeper layers. For example, the character of Myung-gi, played by Yim Si-won, known for Run-on and Misang in Complete Life, fits right into the show's gritty realism. Cryptocurrency scams are a massive problem in South Korea, with popular YouTubers even helping to promote them. In fact, just last month, South Korean police arrested 215 people in connection with the country's largest crypto scam in history. Myung-gi's involvement in this issue taps directly into these ongoing real-life problems, making it an adult-centric detail that speaks to South Korea's modern economic struggles. Another adult-oriented detail that many might find interesting is the character Thanos, a retired rapper who enters the deadly games. Played by T.O.P., real name Choi Sang-hyun, a former member of the iconic K-pop group Big Bang, Thanos' backstory is ironically close to T.O.P.'s own. In 2017, T.O.P. faced public backlash in South Korea after being convicted of marijuana use, a scandal that led him to announce his retirement from the entertainment industry. The public outcry was so intense that it mirrored the controversy surrounding his casting in Squid Game Season 2. TOP's return to the industry after such a scandal adds a layer of irony and depth to his role, which is something only adult viewers familiar with the K-pop world would fully appreciate. Additionally, the inclusion of Cho Hyu, played by Park Sung-hun as a transgender character, adds another layer of complexity to the season. Hyunju, who is revealed to be a former soldier, is likely inspired by the real-life Korean transgender soldier and activist Byun Hee-soo, who tragically passed away in 2021. This storyline touches on significant social issues in South Korea, where LGBTQ+ individuals, especially transgender people, face intense marginalization. The decision to cast a cisgender actor like Park Sung-hun in this role sparked criticism from international fans, especially as the transgender community is still underrepresented in South Korean media. The show's handling of this sensitive topic reflects the ongoing struggles and conversations surrounding LGBTQ+ rights in South Korea, a detail that adult viewers will likely connect to real-world issues. In Squid Game Season 2, the show cleverly incorporates social and historical references, some of which are subtle but significant to adult viewers. The inscription at the entrance to the six-legged pentathlon, strongly, energetically, firmly, is reminiscent of the motivational slogans used in South Korean schools, especially during sports events or PE class. While these words were once used to encourage children in a more innocent context, here they take on an ominous tone, setting the stage for the dark and deadly nature of the games that follow. The gender stereotypes are also flipped in the Squid Game universe, particularly in Episode 5. In South Korea, games like Dakji and Gongji have historically been gendered. Dakji was traditionally played by boys and Gongji by girls. This idea is humorously subverted when Daeho, Kang Han-ul, claims he can play Gongji, while Junhee, Jo Yuri, admits she's never played it but is good at playing Dakji. This playful twist on gender expectations provides an adult commentary on how certain societal norms are evolving and being challenged. Music also plays a powerful role in this season. When Gi-hun's team attempts the six-legged pentathlon, the song Cho Hyu by Shin Hye-chul plays in the background. This iconic track, which has been used to cheer on teams at school festivals and sports events, carries a deep emotional weight. Shin Hye-chul, a revered figure in Korean rock music, wrote and performed the song, and its association with the struggles and triumphs of South Korean youth adds another layer of poignancy to the scene. In the more intimate and interpersonal moments, the use of Korean honorifics like Nuna and Unni adds complexity to character relationships. For example, Thanos' TOP instructs Namgyu to call Semi Nuna, a term used by men to address older women, typically in a familiar or affectionate way. Similarly, Hyunju Park Sung-hoon is touched when Youngmi Kim Si-eun calls her Unni, acknowledging Hyunju's gender identity in a tender and subtle moment of recognition. These cultural nuances highlight the show's careful attention to how language reflects power dynamics and personal connections. The portrayal of North Korean defectors and the use of the phrase Namnam Bukneo, meaning Southman North women, is also significant. This old Korean saying, which suggests that men from the southern part of Korea are more handsome, while women from the north are seen as more beautiful, speaks to deeply rooted cultural stereotypes. The matchmaking services for South Korean men and North Korean women, featured prominently in the show, reflect the real-world phenomenon of such agencies in South Korea, adding another layer of realism to the show's social commentary. Finally, the character of the frontman, disguised as Player One and using the pseudonym Young-il, is another example of Squid Game's use of wordplay. Young-il sounds like the South Korean word for 01, cleverly referencing his player number. Additionally, a lighthearted moment occurs when Young-il jokingly points out the pun in Gi-hun's last name Sung, which sounds like the Korean word for last name and is written the same way. This moment, though brief, provides an adult audience with a knowing nod to the complexities of language and meaning in Korean culture. These elements in Squid Game Season 2 not only add depth to the storyline, but also speak to a more mature understanding of South Korean society, its history, and its ongoing social changes. Only adult viewers with a deeper awareness of the culture and its nuances would fully appreciate the significance of these references. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.